Welcome back to this second and final game of action from our Thursday afternoon evening segment as we are midway through week 3 action here. We've got the last week of divisional matchups for the first part of the season as the Memphis Scouts will be hosting their counterparts from Missouri, the Springfield Thunderbirds. So, got a real interesting clash today. First, the Charioteers beat the Thunderbirds, but then the Scouts then beat the Charioteers, so we'll have to see if the Scouts can dominate this division early on, or if the Thunderbirds win here, then it becomes very interesting as we look at the host starting lineup. Big change on them for today is the absence of Captain DeConta Josemi. He's out with a pulled groin. It's a big questionable decision before this game of whether or not he'd be able to go, and the coach deciding to exercise some caution, leaving him out of the squad for today. So Philip Miller comes in off the bench. Wallaby Wilson will take up a deeper role today in that midfield hole. As conversely, no changes again for the Thunderbirds. Same lineup that won in extra time on that golden goal last week from Bradley Perkins. It was a fine assist by the rookie Musa Cross coming off the bench, but for the time being, Felix McCartney keeps his spot on that left wing. Have to see how the Thunderbirds' somewhat shaky, dubious back line can hold up here against the Scouts' front three that has been operating at a devastating effect so far in this early part of the season, as the Scouts will kick us off here with their legendary striker, Jim Hoovard. As it is underway here in Memphis. Scouts victorious in their first 2 games. Have to see if they can continue their winning ways and move towards that top of the table. Join the Mayflowers and the Kodiaks as the only teams with the full 9 points, but a lot of football left to be played here. As here is Philip Miller on his first start, his first appearance of the season. Moving around methodically here. Wallaby Wilson, he's been such a pivotal character in that midfield. Have to see how he performs in a deeper role here today. So here is first chance for the Thunderbirds to get forward with Perkins. Similar to Wilson, he's been a very welcome addition as such a young player in this team in that midfield role. Is nice combination with Powers. Isaac Powers feeding it back for Conrad, who goes for goal and off target. Had Sanchez scrambling, but he's Conrad not known for the striking ability of his left foot, more so a specialist technician, if you will, with the right leg. So first chance of the game goes the way of Thunderbirds, but not an effort that will have the Scouts overly worried in this early period here as Ibanez picks it up in midfield. Perkins driving at the defense. For options and support, he's got McCartney on the overlap. McCartney with some space to work into now, drilling it across, and Balboa. He's been such a massive player for this back line of the Scouts. Chance to get forward on the counter here with Miller. Hoovard cuts it back. Waiting for numbers and support, but given away by Wilson that time. Here's Moisan. Conrad taking on Joe Bunting, and that is a strong challenge from the left back, and that may be a suspension. Can't remember. I do believe he picked up a yellow card. I can't remember if it was in week 1 or week 2. If it was last week, then he will miss their next match. So have to see, check the record books here, what that will mean for him. He's pulling up now. That is receiving confirmation. That will be a suspension for Joe Bunting. Booked in consecutive weeks, so he will be out for the next match. Could be an opportunity for Joe Henderson, the rookie first-round draft pick, to make his first start of the season. He's made 1 appearance off the bench so far. As McCartney! Well, in the end, it looked like Sanchez maybe had it under control, but kind of just kept trickling closer and closer to the goal there. Again, Scouts surviving. A couple of early waves of pressure from the Thunderbirds, the visiting team. So here's Miller, looking to make an impact in his first start. Good pace, and the tackle by McCartney. Nearly got through there. Back and forth start to this one, but not a lot of clear-cut chances for either team as of yet. Could be one here, though, for Powers. Conrad got some space to attack here. And just kind of pedestrian in the approach, lets the defense get set again, but did well to get away from his man. Is this another strong challenge? This time it's Iskander El Ghazawi in the book. Another yellow card for the Scouts on this left-hand side. So Thunderbirds with an opportunity to create a lot of pressure, send more attacks on this side with these two players now on yellow cards. Going to be a long rest of the afternoon for this Scouts left-handed side. There are two players on the left flank already in the book, just 16 minutes in. It's another free kick for Conrad to try and work some magic with. No angle for a shot here, but can tee one up. McCartney, and it's the man who was booked, Iskander El Ghazawi, who was able to get that one clear. So far, the Thunderbirds maybe with a slight advantage here. Scouts a little bit of a slower start than we're used to. Both of their first games was quick goals by Jim Hoovard after just 3 minutes in their opener, and then after, let's say, around between 10 and 15 minutes against the Charioteers, they scored through Hoovard again. So this is their longest start to a game this season without a goal. They also haven't conceded. Thunderbirds looking to put them in a losing position for the first time this season. Here's Ibanez looking to make it happen with Powers. Moisan's run just dragged him wide, but Powers finds Roy Ibanez, has Powers back. Moisan! Saved by Sanchez, a bit greedy. Had Powers and McCartney free across the goal, went for the shot from the tight angle. But it's a striker's attempt, you have to say. That's what you want to see from your main man. Always going for goal. No hesitation from Moisan on that occasion. Could they live to rue that mistake, though? So past the halfway point in this first half. 0-0 on the scoreline still. Scouts looking to make a change with Hoovard, and Groenland-Danube has his first save of the game. And it's an easy one. Tame effort from Hoovard from distance. Conrad skips away nicely, change of pace. Moisan. Conrad again, surveying, taking his time to pick a pass. Perkins trying to feed one in for McCartney, but Crabtree getting back well on defense. These teams competent at the back so far. Maybe that's a sign of just the lack of a cutting edge of the attacks, but either way, it's 0-0. Crabtree looking to feed one for Miller. Oh! It's in the side of the net. For a moment, the home fans thought it was in. You can see just how close it was here. Groenland-Danube might have been beaten. Lucky for him, this time it's only a goal kick. A lot of course, controversy about the signing of Ian Groenland-Danube. Felt no more anywhere else than this division, of course. The former charioteer himself spurns his old club, and the Scouts were heavy favorites to sign him up with the Wyvern Riders. They were the 1 and 2. Groenland-Danube deciding he wanted to really pack on the misery to his former team, joining their arch rivals, the Thunderbirds, so spurning both the Charioteers and the Scouts. But hasn't been a dream start to life for him. He's conceded 8 goals in his first 2 games, and again, large part of that down to the defense not helping him out, but still, nonetheless, he is the man with the 8 goals put in his net. So certainly signs of improvement for him today. Not that he's had too much to do, but keeping a clean sheet through the first 30 minutes is an improvement. Maybe more of a testament to this Thunderbirds back line as well. Getting their things figured out at the back, as here's the Scouts back line getting the job done. Fans trying to do their part, get their team motivated to move forward with Philip Miller. Nice ball there through the lines as here's Hoovard. Not a lot of options here. Thunderbirds covering this attack up well, but Hoovard happy to run in behind with pace toward Miller. DiMaggio heads it away. Bunting, though, wins it, and then given away to Ibanez. Moisan turns inside. There's some space for him on the left as there's a nice ball out to McCartney. Runner behind is Perkins. 2-on-1 here. What can he do with it? Nice chop from Moisan. Going for it. Balboa with the block. Good defending again by the Scouts, but only as far as Raider. And Powers not able to corral that one, and Balboa skips away. Here is Marco Althaus to James Hoover up there, Marco Althaus. Since they brought him in a couple of years back, he has really been a revelation. Two of them just a deadly duo up top. As here is Althaus trickling one in for Hoover and not able to bring that one into his control. Well, winding down to the end of this first half now. No goals, no real chances for either team. Not a ton of pressure on either of these goalkeepers. To see if the second half holds a different story. Here is Conrad looking to maybe make something happen here. Right on the brink of halftime. Raider gets it in. Ibanez powers on the turn, blocked by Zakinin Wilson. It's been interesting watching his brother, Wallaby Wilson, in this deeper role today. He really hasn't been able to get into the game. And Philip Miller certainly doesn't look as natural playing in a center forward role, more of a true out-and-out striker. But here's Iskander El Ghazawi now. Oh, sat down. Bruce Anderson skips away from him. Andres Raider, Hoover, Miller, and blocked by DiMaggio again as we head into the final minute of added time. Just 2 minutes on the clock from the referee. Bunting drilling one out to Wilson. Be lining up the cross for the shot. Althaus, Wilson, Althaus! Groyland to do on the save. Thunderbirds are screaming at the referee. We've played double the added time that was signaled. Home team getting a break here, getting a little bit of extra time on the clock to attack, and it almost leads to a goal there. Groenland Danu, the man leading the protest as he gestures to the game clock. Again, 2 minutes signaled, as you can see on your screen there, but we've played 4 of added time. It'd be a real gut punch to the Thunderbirds if they were to concede here. This Bunting's ball in is a good one. It could make something happen, but cleared. Referee's still letting them play here. And as soon as the Thunderbirds get the ball, he does blow the whistle, much to the chagrin of the visitors. But at the end of the day, it's still 0-0 here as we wrap up this first half here in Memphis. Interesting for both of these high-flying offenses. They really have been a little bit pedestrian, as we'll be right back your way with the second half action. Have to see what kind of adjustments can be made at halftime. Welcome back to our fans watching along with this broadcast of the National Soccer League. The final of the 2 games today. We'll have 4 more games coming your way in some combination on Friday and Saturday. Yet to be determined exactly the schedule, but again, this one is scoreless through the first half, a rarity in the National Soccer League, in in a league full of teams that are so attack top heavy. These 2 teams, no exceptions, no slouches to that rule. Scouts have 5 goals in their first 2 games. Thunderbirds have 8. So we'd expected some offensive firepower here, but once again, hard to predict anything in the National Soccer League, as we have seen the story of these first 3 weeks. As here's Moisan. Not a lot of space to get forward, though. Not a lot of support with him either on that attack, as they have to go backwards again. Raider, nice ball to his midfield counterpart, Roy Ibanez. Looking to get in behind with Moisan. It's a nice ball. It's Powers, blocked by Balboa. Perkins still alive. Ibanez and Raider with the effort. Just scuffs it on the ground, and Sanchez can collect easily. There's a chance in there, but Dino Balboa has just been an absolute force at the back. Just nothing gets past him. Scouts now. Miller trying to take it in stride. Was a bit behind him. Hoovered. Back to Miller. Miller, of course, his first start of the season. Had a lively preseason that the manager took note of, so rewarding him with a start here today in the absence of the captain, Joe Semi. Crabtree, heavy touch backwards. Still got it, though. Nicely done from him, but given away by Althaus cheaply. When we talk about the National Soccer League, of course, everyone loves to talk about goals, and we have the top 2 all-time goal scorers on show for you today here. Of course, that's why the game is 0-0 naturally, but Isaac Powers playing it straight for the Thunderbirds. 178 games, 138 goals. Let's pause here as maybe Tricky break in for Moisan to get Powers in to give it away that time. And on the other side of the coin, we have James Hoovard. Him just having 163 appearances, so 15 shy of Powers, but only behind 7 goals with 131 all time. So really interesting, tight race between them, always pushing each other to the limits throughout their first 11 seasons in the National Soccer League, as Wilson with another shot off target. Just the quality of the shots facing these keepers today has not been up to par. That's a wayward effort that time from Wallaby Wilson. Have to see maybe either of these managers think about substitutions for either their team's 63 minutes played. It's been quiet, not a lot of activity on the sidelines for either team. As Perkins wins the header there nicely. Powers feeding it in for Ibanez. Nice passing for the Thunderbirds, crisp, but that one right on cue is overhit from Moisan, not known for his passing. Really the story of the afternoon here, as you see that one's well high and wide, has been the tale of this tie so far, and tied is the scoreline as well, 0-0 through 65 minutes, the longest scoreless draw of this maiden new season in the National Soccer League. Yet to have a game that ended in full-time scoreless. Of course, there is only one way that can actually happen, and that is by no goals being scored in regulation or extra time, and the game ending in a penalty shootout, which of course those goals do not count toward the aggregate score of the season. So technically possible, but very, very unlikely. And we'll have to see if the scouts can change that here. Wilson blocked by Camaro Washington, and then Groenlandenou wins the foul. Pardon me, Xavier Washington. Best chance of the day so far for the scouts. Groenlandenou has some words for Philip Miller, and Miller hung in there to make his case, but eventually trots back as Groenlandenou sets this one down inside his 6-yard box. And about 70 minutes played of the 90 in regulation here. No goals so far. No substitutes from either team either, as the scouts are in the ball in their attacking third again. Crabtree in some space on the right wing. Cutting it back for Althaus, left for Wilson. And another poor effort from him. I think Andres Rader in there making life difficult. Yeah, it certainly was. Stepping up to the pressure. But Wilson will be disappointed with the effort there. This one goes short to the captain, or the vice captain rather. That's a lovely ball from Washington. And Perkins trying to lift one in over the top, and Balboa with the outstretched arm. We'd be remiss not to mention here the only player in the National Soccer League this season with a direct goal from a free kick is Pace Conrad, who is consequentially the man over this ball as we speak. And it was from a similar position that he scored last week against the Conductors. So 25 yards out, we'll have to see. Will lightning strike twice? A couple of men over it in support with him as Conrad leaves it for Perkins, who goes for it! And it whistles just a whisker wide. Surprising, but maybe a clever strategy. Of course, you know, all the players, the goalkeeper especially, thinking Conrad's going to whip that in with his right foot. So he dummies it, and then Perkins goes with the left. So good idea there from the Thunderbirds, creative, but the end result is an off-target shot. You see there the recent possession and shooting stats in the last 50 minutes dominated by the scouts, but again, doesn't mean anything. The quality of the shots has been poor for both teams today. Only had one shot on target for each team, and it's both either blocked or saved, obviously, as there are no goals. But here's Gazawe, and there's another one straight at Groenlandenou. Don't think he realized how much time he had. That was a clear-cut chance, and taken casually by Gazawe, as there's a long ball over the top, and McCartney is offside. It's been a bit of an ugly performance offensively from both these teams, but a solid showing at the back, which is a big step forward for the Thunderbirds, again, who shipped 9 goals through their first 2 games. As we finally do see the first substitution of the match, as it is Felix McCartney coming off, but not for the rookie Musa Cross this time. It is the seasoned veteran Camaro Washington off the bench. for the second time this season. 77 minutes played here. See if he can make an impact, be that spark coming into this game, which is looking for, at this point, borderline crying out for a hero, a difference maker, as here's Kazawe. Willoughby Wilson on the edge of the area. Crabtree, what a save! Groenland Danu. He found himself in behind in the 6-yard box, but Groenland Danu proving his worth to his new club. The fine save with an outstretched leg. Washington has runners in the middle if he wants them. Doesn't need them for the moment. Waiting for the right pass. That is a good one to Perkins. Back to Washington! The substitute off the bench, feeling the adrenaline, feeling the moment. Maybe got to him a little bit there as that one blazes over the bar. Their substitute here this time might be for the home team. It is Alejandro Cruz on for Philip Miller. And Moisan makes way from Ramirez for the visiting side, so shaking up the lineups here a little bit here in Memphis. It's still scoreless through 82 minutes. Would be the first game this season to go to extra time without a goal being scored if this result holds in these final 8 minutes plus added time. Here's Jim Hoover looking to make something happen for the home team. Gazawe, surely this could be the moment for Cruz! Alejandro Cruz! Off the bench! And we said it, this game was crying out for a hero. See! Doing his best Ronaldo celebration and scoring a goal that Cristiano might be proud of. First touch off the bench for Cruz as the thumbs up symbol. And he's got the goal that puts his team in front. Thunderbirds lost at the back. Bruce Anderson had 2 men to mark with an ocean of space between them. And Cruz dispatches Cooley. What an impact off the bench. What a moment in his first appearance, in his first moment. Just seconds after being substituted on. Looks like he's found the match winner here, as it is a late goal from the home team, the Scouts here in Memphis. And has them in the driver's seat of this game, in the driver's seat of this division. 3 wins in 3, beating the Charioteers last week and then beating the Thunderbirds here today. An ideal start to the season for a team, once again, finishing just short of coming in second, losing at the hands of the Terminators in the final. Proving they are still hungry to get back to that final and make amends, as the Terminators have been lackluster to start this campaign, dropping 3 straight games to start the season. So Scouts, a real belief around this team, around this club. This could be the year. Of course, game isn't over yet here. Still added time left to play. Thunderbirds have created chances, but it's been a quiet last 10 minutes from them as that one goes forward to Powers. And Mikhailov blocking that one. There's a foul in there on Powers. I think there was coming together off the ball, and Wilson maybe held him as he was trying to make a run through to get onto that loose ball. No foul there, or no yellow card there from the referee, though. Worth noting. Camaro Washington over this one. Well out this time. Way too far to think about a shot, as clipped in from Washington, and Althouse can clear it away, and the first man there is the Scouts player. It's the match winner as it stands, Alejandro Cruz. Getting it back is DiMaggio, though. Chance for Perkins. Ramirez. Powers! Oh, my goodness! Well, we waited all 90 minutes for the action, but this game has erupted into life, and it is the league's all-time leading goal scorer, Isaac Powers, doing what he does best. And what a time to get an equalizer. We just spent the last 5 minutes lavishing praise on the Scouts. The Thunderbirds having their say. It is 1-1 here in the 93rd minute of extra time. As this game now looking destined, as it was for most of the match, to head to extra time. Well, how about a dramatic finish here in Memphis? Cruz thought he'd won it. Powers having the last word, as it seems. Maybe there's another twist here with Wilson getting forward. Oh, and for a moment, groans around the stadium. They thought maybe a handball on DiMaggio. That would have been a fitting way to end this one with a bogus penalty handball call, as we've seen so often. This new refereeing procedures in place, but the Scouts will have to settle for a corner with the last action of the game. 6 minutes of the 6 added on, played. And Joe Bunting over this corner kick. Is there another moment? As Bunting's ball is into a good area. Althaus won it! And Ibanez scooping it clear. And that is going to wrap up. Full-time regulation is over, but the game is not, as we will head to the second straight golden goal match of today. Fans getting a lot of free football this afternoon. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back with the golden goal rule in effect in just a moment. Well, what an exciting final 10 minutes that was here in Memphis. Scouts scoring in the 85th minute to break the deadlock at 1-0 with this man Alejandro Cruz. And then the Thunderbirds with their talismanic captain, Isaac Powers, getting the equalizer in the 93rd minute of extra time. So we waited, but patience did pay off. And here we are in extra time with the golden goal rule in effect, as Perkins are going to get forward. A lot of space in behind the Scouts' back line. Can Perkins be the one to hand the Scouts their first loss of the season? Cuts it back for Ramirez, blocked by Balboa. A phrase I'm getting tired of saying, as he is just always there for his team when they need him at the back. Wilson with a nice ball through the lines. See, there was a substitution for the Scouts. It's Absalom Nduku, the rookie, making his debut. Not sure who he came on for, I didn't quite see, but Ibanez cuts it out nicely there. We've seen a handful, I want to say maybe 5, 6, or 7 games go to extra time. As here's Ramirez who can win it! Oh! It's Miguel Ramirez who delivers the knockout blow. And the Thunderbirds, who were trailing in the 85th minute, in the 93rd minute even, have come from the dead. And this division just got a whole lot more interesting. Ramirez, the man of the moment. Another player off the bench, writing the ending to this tale. And right on cue, as I was about to say, we have yet to see an extra time end in a penalty shootout. Ramirez stepping up to the spotlight. And the Scouts lose their first game of the season. 2 road wins for them, but they drop points in their home opener. And the Thunderbirds with a massive result here. That puts the Thunderbirds level with the Scouts. Well, actually, only level on wins. They will be behind on points because that was a golden goal win. But it means the Scouts sit atop the division still with 6 points. Thunderbirds moving to second with 5. And the Charioteers, who were humbled at the hands of the Silverbacks with an absolutely disgraceful performance, will sit in dead last in the division with just 3 points in the first 3 games. What a thrilling contest. What a thrilling divisional battle this was here today in Memphis. Once again, expecting the unexpected, proving to pay off as the visitors, the Thunderbirds, have a win here at the hands of their division rivals, the Scouts. We'll leave you here with the full match highlights, as this has been an enthralling day of action from us here in the National Soccer League. 8 games played, 4 to go in this week 3. We'll be back with you tomorrow to the final segment of this week. For the time being, it's Matthew Hummel signing off, broadcast of the National Soccer League. Goodbye and good night.